All right, guys, last off-season war, we got a pretty entertaining one taking in Mojo, Killmonger, and Civil Warrior. Remember to put the slow your roll attack tactic on so that I can utilize that with Civil Warrior. We have path 2 in section 1 and path 6 in section 2. I think I take both middle minis and then I attempt to take 3 mini bosses on Boss Island. So path 2 here, Venom, not a difficult fight at all. Going to play the strike counter, so there's your parry heavy. Here comes your parry medium light. Here's your parry medium light light. And then the next combo is going to push Venom into SB1, which is going to give me my SB1, and I'm going to throw it. So reset, bait out his SB1. We got lucky with prompts here, so we're up to 3 followers. The persistent charge at the start of the fight is my subscribers. So every fight 1 with Mojo, it's going to build it to a max of 5. If I were to lose a fight, I would lose 1 subscriber. So followers in the fight, that 4 up there, can't fall below what I started with my persistent charge, which is a subscriber. So it's when you get to 5 or more followers that the damage really starts to ramp up for Mojo. So the more fights you win, the easier it is to get there. And as you saw, Venom went down fine. He's got suicides too, so it wasn't a big deal. Next is this Mordo. I'm just going to take it with Killmonger so that once we do get True Strike, we don't have to deal with any evade. So we can stick to the strike counter combo. However, in the beginning, it's not going to be as smooth. Luckily, the node has Power Focus 1, so it's a little bit easier to get to True Strike before having to go through the rotation. But here you can see I did not try to do a heavy. I just went ahead and reset it. So he's going to maintain 2 Fury passives the entire time. So now we're going back through the parry heavy, parry medium light, parry medium light light, parry medium light, obviously in different orders, whatever Mordo is going to give me. And down he goes. So he had suicides as well. So I hadn't planned at first to try Civil Warrior for this Fury on Power Snack, and then when I remembered that he is immune to Power Snack, I decided, heck, it's just a straightforward Fury fight with a lot more health. And he has suicide, so it goes a bit faster. So you're going to notice that there are times in war fights using Civil Warrior in the off-season that I do convert the armor ups to Fury. But in real technical fights, especially one like this where Fury could go unblockable, I don't try to utilize it the entire time to where I prevent the Furies from expiring. So here's going to be a set that just expires. Just didn't care about it. It's an added bonus to have the Furies for a short period of time. I'm not really trying to build the 50. This Unstoppable here, I did not mean to get hit, but I did. It's fine. Pushed him to SB2. So now that created an opening and got rid of the Unstoppable. So fight's going well so far. There he is. There's Real Nick. So now we're just gonna let that degen take over. I was kind of curious if he was going to hit back at recovery again at 50%, and he doesn't, so nice to know now. I think here I was trying to sort of build up the Fury, but this SB2 KOs him, so wasn't bad at all. Decided to use some potions to heal him up to take the fight I was hoping to take, and that's this Apocalypse on Mixmaster. Of course, there are many other options like Ghost, that'll just end this fight probably in a minute to a minute and a half, depending on the boosts. Ghost it's probably a 30-second fight. But I wanted to play around with the slow your roll, and I wanted to see what the block damage would be. Now my Civil Warrior is 40% or 40 sig, so he's not at that 60% damage reduction when blocking special attacks, which would be helpful for this node due to the prowess. But as you saw, I kept my combo short, medium, light until I could land a heavy. And when I think the slow is going to fall and I can't reapply it right away, I go ahead and do medium, light, and back off so that I don't cause him to evade and then take a combo to the face. Then I get my parry opening, and then I throw on the heavy. So you can see it's going smooth. Just since I'm not really focused, like I said earlier, on converting these armor ups to Furies, the damage isn't really there unboosted to end this fight really quick. But it seems to be a safe fight. So max boosted, if the damage was at least decent, we could easily handle this fight without any problem. And also, I'm not sure what the best practice would be if I were trying to build up the Furies. Probably just sticking to SP1. The downside to trying to build up the Furies here in this situation is that I have to maintain the slow. So if I don't take every opportunity that I have to apply slow, it's going to mean more blocked hits, and therefore a chance I could miss either a parry or miss a slow application, which means I have to be way more mindful of my combo, or at least with what I finish a combo with. He tried to be cheeky there and hit me with that heavy, so that I don't accidentally trigger an evade. But if his sig was a bit higher, usually what I do when I'm questing with him is that I utilize a special attack blocking the whole thing to convert to Furies. All right, this next one I was really excited about because this is actually what I brought Mojo for. Mojo has this benefit when his anti-life is running that he reduces buff duration by 90%. And of course, we all know that footloose is 2 buffs. So as long as I make sure I'm in anti-life when I'm baiting out a special, these buffs disappear to where footloose just doesn't exist, and it benefits me because it converts it into 2 degen debuffs. Here I was trying to get him to come at me, and he decided to at range throw his SB1, so I decided to parry to activate the prompt. So the start of this is really slow just because I was not able to throw an SB2 instead of an SB1. The 2 footloose buffs with MD pushed me to SB3. But now we're at 4 followers. We came in with 2 subscribers. You see the persistent charge up there. So if we fail a prompt, we're just going to drop down to 2. This one here is going to get us to 5. So now some hater buffs are going to show up. Plus we got this big old Fury. So now all the degen damage is going to be modified to the Fury, and he's just going to melt. And this here is your sweet spot. Just spamming SB2 whenever you've got it, and just letting buffs get eaten anytime he ends up showing up with a buff. Just makes the fight so quick. All right, and I decided to take Professor X here with Mojo as well. I figured if I accidentally trigger rage when we get to 5 followers from that Fury, at least I'll be able to nullify at least 1 during an SP1. My worry was that the nullify and the hater buff expiry might push me into SP2, and that could be bad. The only thing, and I of course missed the block or just was not prepared there. The only downside, or the only thing I was kind of hopeful about, was that if he did manage to go unblockable, that I would not have to worry about taking any blocked hits. You can outrange his specials, you can dodge his specials, you can outrange his attack. Even if we had to wait to apply the miss mechanic, we just wait for him to throw a special and trigger it. So we don't have to block if he goes unblockable. So we're at 5 followers here. It's going to push us to 6. He's at 3 Fury buffs. I got accidentally pushed to SB2 like I was worried about. He goes unblockable, but not a big deal because he's just going to melt here. So Another win. Here I decided to go with Civil Warrior. Not to actually apply slow, but to power drain if he decided not to throw SB2. So I believe I do save my specials for SB2. And that first time there I applied slow, I don't think I apply it any time later. Just because you see when the evade is coming. So if you're just playing smart, you can avoid taking a combo. So the slow really just doesn't help me as much. And his health was dropping so quick, I decided to just go ahead and try and build some Furies and see if I could nuke him. And down he goes. Suicide's help, obviously. Alright, this next fight I wanted to see if I decided to take this Wasp. I wanted to see if an unboosted Killmonger was going to trigger rage enough to cause her to go unblockable. She doesn't have a very large health pool, so I figured there might be a pretty good chance that she'd go unblockable. But as long as we're keeping True Strike up, she should be fairly doable even if she does go unblockable. You're going to see this evade shock is going to take almost 50% of my health due to the extended debuff timer on the node, which I did not think about. Otherwise I would have baited a heavy instead of trying to just not even care about the evade trigger. And she gained 1 Fury buff. But she has suicides. But good thing so far is that my basic attacks, even with reverb up, there's another Fury, aren't triggering Fury the entire fight. At least not enough to make her go unblockable. And almost there. This will KO her. Down she goes. So, could be an option. Okay, the next 2 fights I just figured, let's go ahead and try some stuff. Killmonger here, I figured I could avoid most of the reverb damage and take him out with Mojo degen. So with this fight, sure, Killmonger doesn't have any buffs, but when Mojo is at 5 followers, whether the opponent has buffs or not does not matter, because as you can see, he places a buff. So I figured between the degen damage and the fact that SB2 is a ranged attack, that I would not have to worry about reverb killing me. Yes, I was going to take quite a bit of reverb damage, but I didn't have to worry about it killing me. And I can't remember, I believe I stick with what also would have helped was to go through the rotation of SB2 to SB3 to SB2 instead of SB1, which is what I do. Just because all those hits from SB1 could trigger reverb, and I end up taking excessive damage from that instead of avoiding it. But you see here, Fury's up. It's doing almost 3,000 a tick in degen damage. Plus all my basic attacks are boosted from the Fury. So it's actually going pretty well. And Killmonger here doesn't have suicide, so we're getting a pretty real attempt without any boosts. Idle. I love it when both AIs or both players decide to actually go idle for that prompt. Here was a good timing of the SB2 because reverb's up. So I'm just trying to let him melt a little bit, and down he goes. So wasn't a bad fight at all. Okay, in this fight I really didn't want to take. Since Guardian can auto block specials, pretty much takes away the SB2 as an option to control the power gain on this node. So I figured the only realistic way I could possibly get this down was to get to SP3 while Guardian had a bar or less of power so that I can exit SP3 with him power locked. as you can see, I'm kind of, because this is a mini boss, I'm trying to build Furies. But with Aspect of Evolution, it's going to be a lot of block damage eventually. And it most likely will kill me before I can kill him. So, plus, if I did a better job evading SB1, we might have gotten more of a look here to see how close it would be. But I still don't think it would have gone very well at all, especially since I told you earlier, I do use the specials when I'm using Civil Warrior and trying to build Furies to actually build the Furies. Just so that I don't have the AI hitting into me and then throwing heavies to interrupt me trying to convert. So there was an SB3, we got him locked. It's being pretty passive, so I'm using that opportunity to convert the armor ups, which again, not ideal for this situation because that just eats up the power lock timer. And if I actually had the ability to throw SB2 here and power drain him, it would be a lot smoother of a fight. And here I'm going to try and I get it right before his heavy, which is perfect. But this next SB1, I just blocked the first part and dodged out the rest. Just trying to dex the whole thing. So, well, it was still fun using Civil Warrior and Mojo in war. I'm glad I got to do that. But anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. I will see you guys at the first war of the season.